Dr.Jackie's here, changing life loving you. Yeah, that's the groove, life loving you. Feel the truth, move, life loving you. It's all we do, come on through, it's just for you.
Topic today is talking about the bag lady, and that's right. I'm sure all of us have stories about people that we've been in relationship with and the baggage that they brought. I mean, you might want to tell on yourself and talk about what you also brought to the relationship.
Emotional baggage, I didn't realize how much issues of my past affected how I act. Father issues, past relationships, sexual abuse contributed to my baggage, and I took it out on the person I was with.
Well, if you don't mind, let's tease that out.
Well,
so
yeah.
Let's talk about maybe the daddy issues, because you hear comedians joke about that.
Yeah. Well,
what were yours like?
Mine were different. I had my father with me throughout my whole life, but he was very mean and very aggressive, and kind of abusive in the relationship. So it kind of tailored how I was with men, and I didn't want somebody like my dad. That's what I ended up with, and I found myself just minimizing myself to make the other person better, but that didn't help them either. And I wouldn't voice that to them, so they couldn't fix it because I didn't let them know that that was my issue.
So what were you wanting out of those relationships? Let's go back to the one with your father. What were you really wanting from your dad?
I wanted someone to be softer with me and not harsh. I was always yelled at, and that's a trigger for me, and cursed at. So in my relationship, if that happened to me, I would lash out. So because I couldn't lash out at my father because he's my dad, at the person I was with, I lashed out at them. And I really wasn't angry with them. I was really angry with my dad and wanted to let him know, hey, don't do that. So that's kind of what happened.
And so you say you started choosing more your dad.
More my dad than what I really wanted.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my emotional baggage that I brought in. Yeah, and wanting them to be the father that my father wasn't.
So were you used to dating older men, or?
That was my preference, was older. Yeah, that was my preference. They were always like maybe 2 to 5 years older than me. But
That's not bad. I'm thinking like 15 years, 20 years, 30 years.
Daddy.
Okay, well, that's what it could be. Well, now I'm really interested in getting the male perspective. So, I don't know what kind of baggage you've been dealing with, whether it was your own or whether you had a bag lady that was in the relationship with you.
I would say, I've only been in one relationship. And in that relationship, the only baggage I felt that my ex brought was mainly dealing with self-esteem. So that was one that I think a lot of women deal with, but it's something that really affects the relationship, because if you're not sure of yourself, you're gonna put a lot of things on me or your partner that it isn't for me. Like, if I tell you that you're beautiful, really? You really think so? And you need it all the time. There's certain things that I feel like a lack of self-esteem just causes a lot of other things that don't even seem to be correlated with that. But over like 2.5 years, I feel like that was like the biggest thing, where so many other issues I feel like stemmed from that.
Give me some examples of self-esteem issues. You talked about, do I really look pretty? But what are some of the other things that kind of stem from this lack of self-esteem?
Comparison. So if you're not confident in yourself, you're always going to be looking at someone else. So that just creates a whole whirlwind of issues where it could be. I want to try to find a really good example where.
Yeah, but I could imagine comparing, like, say you guys are out somewhere and you guys are trying to have a good time, and then maybe she's saying, do you think that girl looks good over there? That kind of comparison?
Yeah, or
do I look as good as her? Or do you think she,
Yeah, like almost worrying about things that a confident person is not worried about every little thing, like, oh, so I wonder what so-and-so thinks. And, it for me, that was like working another job.
You had to punch that clock.
Yeah, let me hype you up, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me make you feel like you're worthy. Like, it was always having to, like, almost prove to someone, like, hey, you're worth this. Hey, you are this, you are that. And it's like, you're a motivational speaker. I'm not. I'm that isn't my role.
Right.
So I'm all for, making you feel supported, making you feel good, but at the same time,
it's not your side gig.
Yeah. I'm not trying to do that every single day. Like, I've shown you that I care about you. I've shown you how I feel. And someone with low self-esteem, to a certain extent, it's almost like it's like a disease.
Nothing's ever enough.
Yeah. There's nothing that you can do.
And you know, to me, that type of a person comes off being very needy. And I have this person that we adopted. It's a gentleman that's a part of our family, and we love him. But there's a neediness. And I don't know what to tell you, but the more needy a person is, you just kind of repel people. If you're so needy, it's like something about you is so...
Unattractive.
Yeah, unattractive.
Because I don't think anybody wants to have that unspoken responsibility of someone else's happiness. I felt at a certain point where I was responsible single-handedly for my partner's happiness, sadness, fear, joy. I was responsible for his entire world. And whether that was a reality or not, that's how he made me feel. And it was something where, again, it goes back to, you know, it doesn't necessarily make anybody a bad person, just not compatible. You know, and I'm the type of person that in a relationship, I'm very independent. I'm very, it's almost like a rebellious thing that comes out in me. I don't like to be told what to do or controlled. You know, I believe my definition of love is freedom and trust. And that to me means loving each other when it's authentic, when it's real trust.
But now that sounds real good, but what kind of baggage are you used to dealing with?
Well,
What did you bring to the relationship? Because I see some bags packed up there behind your chair.
I think that in itself was one of my bags. That in itself was one of
Of
my
that
bags.
rebellious nature.
Yeah. I grew up in a house where I did have my father as well, but it was a little bit of the opposite. My mom was more the strong character, the one that, you know, and not to say that it's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what I grew up seeing. That was my example. So now when I go into a relationship and a man tries to be
Domineering.
you know, domineering or, you know, tries to put me down, it's like a shutdown thing. It's ugly. It gets really ugly. And that's where I bring out the claws because it doesn't work with my aura, my energy, anything
but
about
when you
that.
get like that with the claws,
like,
oh my God. But
Real bad.
I'm trying to figure out like what you went Wolverine on me. Like what kind of claws do you bring out when
well,
that happens?
A big one is jealousy for me. A big thing that brings out the claws in me is jealousy because I'm not a cheater. I'm not going to be the one to be out with my man and be...
Be looking around. And you know, men are really good at that. They love to check out the scenery, boy.
Right.
You know,
so going back to what he was saying about, you know, a girl having, you know, self-esteem issues, a lot of times you could think that you're telling a girl, babe, you look beautiful. Babe, you know, that outfit looks amazing on you. Or, you know, don't worry about it. You look great. But we are creatures that we nitpick at details. Yeah. So you could tell us right now, you look amazing. But if we see you 5 minutes from now on your phone looking on Instagram and looking at that workout chick, we saw you. We saw you. And it's something that it shouldn't be that way. I'm not justifying it, that it's right. But that's just what it is now. You get insecure the same way as a man would. If we're looking at these buff 8-pack dudes, you know, that are with the fitness powder, exactly. You guys just deal with it differently. We deal with it differently. We get insecure and we say,
bag that someone always carries. You always have some type of insecurity about yourself. Like,
of course.
I don't like my hands. That's insecurity for me.
Wow, you have nice hands.
I don't think so. My mom said that. I don't like my hands, so that's insecurity for me. I think we all carry that bag in some regard.
And so that's really what I want to touch on next. Like, if you don't like your hands, one thing I heard about Jennifer Lopez, she says she never says anything negative about her body. And I really think that that's important because if I don't like it, how am I supposed to expect someone else to like it? And so I think that we have to recognize, listen, they might not look the way that I would prefer, but I have beautiful hands and they're serving me well. Because soon, you wait like so many years, they're going to start getting dried up and wrinkly. God forbid if you get arthritis and your knuckles swell up. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real. Then you start to think back on your life and say, man, I wish I didn't like my body back then, but I kind of wish I still had it looking like that. It'd be better than the way it's looking now that I'm aging. But I think at the core of this, let's talk about self-esteem. Let's talk about self-esteem, because that feeds into your self-esteem. This notion to always focus on the things that we don't like, instead of just saying, hey, this is the way I came, you know, I'm happy with who I am, and trying to build on that. I have never seen so many girls that are, I'm talking beautiful, highly educated, just those that even work for me. And they all have stories of abuse, being neglected and abused in relationships, treated like trash, and they don't know who they are yet. They don't know how beautiful they are. They don't know how smart and intelligent they are. And I'm concerned because I've never seen this in this volume before. And I think it goes back to maybe Instagram, social media is making us always compare more than we used to. So it's like we're trying to look at this ideal. I remember when makeup was about enhancing what you had. Now, don't I look enhanced, y'all? But now it's about, you could be looking like, oof, and then they can go in there and paint another face on you, and you look like somebody completely different. You can get the hair, you can get the nails, everything's about morphing into something that you're not, and everybody wants to be a star.
I think it really, because I overanalyze everything, and I think it comes down to a very basic human versus computer thing. Mm-hmm. A computer is visual. Everything on the computer, everything that we do is visual. We're looking at it. It's Instagram. It's this is what this person looks like. You don't hear her voice. I mean, obviously, details of video and all that stuff, but going down to like the basics. You don't know her voice. You don't know her personality. You don't know what she's about. You don't know her ethics. You don't know anything about this girl or guy. We're just saying girl right now. Or guy. And you're based off of looks. And let's face it, those looks are amazing nowadays. I mean, amazing. Beauty has taken a whole new world of its own.
Well, makeup can transform you nowadays.
Oh, yeah. You can be a different person completely. And the waist cinching and the tanning and the fake hair and the fake nails, we're all guilty of it. I mean, we're girls.
Hey, we got
a lot of fake stuff going on, you know? But the problem is that the whole other human aspect of it has been plucked out and thrown away. It's been completely plucked out. So now you see this Instagram girl. You have your girlfriend sitting right next to you. She's gorgeous. Beautiful girl, beautiful body. You're sitting right next to her. But that Instagram girl is better to you visually than the one sitting next to you. And that human connection is out of the window because you're not talking to her. You're just looking at what's on your phone.
Well, now,
and it kind of goes for everybody.
I don't want to put this one on the slab, but you know, what do you have to say to that?
I actually wanted to comment on that because, like I said before, I've only been in one relationship, and that was my senior year. That started my senior year of college. I was already 22. So naturally, I was single my entire life. So certain things, when I got into a relationship, I feel like there's certain rules that I wasn't aware of. So, perfect example, let's go with Instagram. To me, I remember the first time I got on Instagram was like high school. And the whole point of Instagram was just to like posts, to like pictures. There was no videos, it was just strictly pictures at first. So, and it's almost like everything starts away and then it morphs into something else. So I got used to Instagram as, hey, I just go on here when I'm bored and I like pictures. Yeah. And then next thing you know, a bunch of, certain models started coming and all this other type of stuff. You have comedy pages, you have all different agendas on there. Yeah. But I remember when I got into a relationship, me liking someone else's picture, if it was a girl, was an issue. Now here's the thing. I'm not stupid. I'm able to understand, like, if it's a provocative picture, the girl's half naked or something like that, of course. But why is it an issue if it's a girl, she looks pretty, she just did a selfie. It's just her face. It's just her face. I liked it. That was an issue for her. And then she was always on the following page checking on me, seeing what I was doing. So for me, it was like, she would always say, oh, how would you feel? I'm like, it's Instagram, that's what you're supposed to do. So since you're in a relationship, you now can't even use that? Like, to me, that was ridiculous. Yeah. But again, I see that as a self-esteem issue, because if she liked a basketball player's picture of him shooting a basketball, oh man, why is she liking it? I know. I don't go
I think
there.
that's different than liking some girl's selfie.
All right, guys take selfies nowadays too. So if you liked a guy's selfie, it's not gonna make me feel any type of way. Now, if old boy's slow grinding with baby oil on himself to grind on me, all right, now we can talk, because I might feel tried. I might feel a way about that. But if it's just natural stuff, why would that make me feel a way?
But I think that some of this is individual, because like I was at a basketball game, and you know there was this guy, this big husky guy came and sat next to me. He smelled really good, and I said to him, I said, "Oh, I like your cologne." My husband like pulls me over to the side, and he's like, "Don't say that." That's like as if you're coming on to him, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, man. So now I have to remember, and I don't make those comments anymore. But to him, that was not respectful, and you know, so now I don't do it anymore. So maybe this is an individual issue.
Well, to me, it's just more so rules now. Like everything has etiquette. You have business etiquette and relationships etiquette, and now Instagram has etiquette, where it's just certain things that's just like a no-go.
Well, let me ask you a question.
So,
just if you can be honest.
Yeah.
So if you're out somewhere, you know, everybody people watches.
oh, I'm scoping everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Peripherals. I'm able to see over here right now.
Oh
My
Lord.
God.
You
You know,
know, even on
Oh yeah, I'm seeing booty, face, everything. Just all at
So
one
do
time.
you look, or do you try to just keep it in the peripheral so that they're not yes, honey, but really you're seeing the booty over there?
Oh, I'm seeing cheeks.
Oh my God.
I'm seeing it all. But no, like I'm never gonna try to.
But would you look? Would you turn your head and look? Be honest.